So my first show I ever went to, I was 18. An episode of Raw leading up to a SummerSlam, and it was Hogan's big return after Shawn Michaels had super kicked him.
What you gonna do, brother, at SummerSlam when Hulkamania destroys you?
So that was the first live event for WWE I'd ever been to. I'd been to some independent promotions. The person who ran those shows was my older brother's friend, Josh, who was trained, and all of his friends getting together to wrestle like you would in your basement, except they rented out venues and had a ring and a whole production. My brother wrestled for them, and my sister valeted. So seeing that as a kid, seeing teenagers do it, especially my brother and his best friend at the time, and a bunch of other guys that I knew, I was like, man, I really need to be a part of that.
Dave Segan. And I've gone on the record.
For about a year, back in 2007, I did have a little run, you could say. I had a tag match with my brother. I had a one-on-one match with my brother. And I told myself I was content with that being it until the time I was around 27 when I said, I definitely am not happy with doing that. I really need to give this a shot. So around the time I was 27, I enrolled in the Chikara Wrestle Factory, and I learned so much, and I loved that place. I definitely had support from both sides. My dad was the one who really was all for me doing it. He was diagnosed with cancer probably around the time I was 19 or 20. So he had seen my old matches, and then when I got out of it, he had been diagnosed, and then it had gone away. He was almost in remission for 5 years until it came back aggressively, and that was right around the time I started training. And I wanted to be there and help as much as I possibly could, but I was pursuing this, and you know, I feel bad about it sometimes because there are times that my family needed me that I made sure I was at training and I wasn't missing out on these opportunities. And probably the hardest part of doing this now is knowing that he won't ever be able to see me do this at the level I'm getting to do it now. And that sucks, but I know that he would absolutely love to see it. He was always into any performance that I got to do. When I was in theater, in high school, he was at every performance I was in. When I was in choirs, singing, he was there for everything. When I was in bands, he made sure to come. So one of the guys I met during training was Jackson Stone. I told him I'm going to be moving down to Texas in the next few weeks, and that's when he told me, oh, I just moved up here from Texas, and he asked me what I was going to do. He told me you should check out MPX. So I moved down here. I arrived on a Saturday, and on Monday I went to MPX to check it out. We did the Prison Break match. I was the last person to enter it, and I didn't really do much. I kind of was out until the very end, until it was me and Chandler for a quick second.
Hopkins does it's over with for the truth boot. No! Segan ducked. Hopkins rolled through with it. Face first goes Hopkins. Segan goes for the cover. Are you kidding me? And the new NPX Prospect Champion, the Solution, Dave.
I made sure to take a picture every single day in a different place with the prospect title and post it on my Instagram and Facebook. Whether it was out in Dallas, at the apartment, or anywhere, I took a picture every single day. One of the coolest things I've been able to do this past year is when I did the extra work for WWE. So we're walking around, I was in catering, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna go back to the locker room. Maybe they'll need someone to be EMTs on SmackDown.
Daniel Bryan
Get in the ring with Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Maurice.
Champion!